Welcome to the current. Just sprayed some beautiful essential oils, grounding into the body. We're going to start into the body today. We'll do something for the throat, the thyroid, just creating space and bringing our awareness there, and then something for the colon. And then we'll have a little chat. So the left hand comes to the top of your trap here. And you're going to press down into the top and then twist it a little bit if you can. And then the other hand's going to come underneath your jaw and sort of wrap the skin around like this. And then bend your knees, stick your butt back a little bit, and separate your hands as much as you can. Here and here. Breathe in and exhale. Move your body to the right. 3. In through the nose, out the mouth. 2. And 3. Oh yeah, beautiful. Let's just shake that out. You can walk around if you have the space. If not, just sway side to side. So the energies of the sun for today with this key are related to the thyroid and the parathyroid. And just opening the fascia around the neck where we can hold a lot of tension. So with the right hand, let's come to the left shoulder, pressing down and twisting. And then left hand comes underneath the jaw, wraps the skin around. Bend your knees, send your butt back. Slowly move to the left and let's breathe in through the nose. And out. In. And out. In. And out. In through the mouth. And out. In through the mouth. And out. Through the mouth. And out. Awesome. Oh, that feels so good. Let's sway. Move your neck around. And let's just bring our right hand to the thyroid, just under your Adam's apple, and just really gently pull the skin up. And then the left hand will go behind the throat. And let's just hum using our vocal cords. And with our imagination, we can imagine we're looking at the sun and we're inviting the energy, the healing light of the sun into the thyroid, which is a part of our rhythm of our body, our immune system, our expression. So let's do this 3 times. Inhale, looking at the sun and receiving its energy. 2 more in. Lengthen the back of your neck. And 3. Release. Just standing there for a moment, feeling your throat. Imagining a shiny, healthy aura around your thyroid, functioning at its optimum health. And just imagining what it feels like to feel completely liberated and expressed in your expression. Uninhibited. What do you feel in your body? Do you feel relaxation? Do you feel excitement? Do you feel enrichment? Do you feel intoxication? Do you feel justice? Speaking of, that's the programming partner. We're going to come into the colon. So much a part of our rhythm is being able to let go and release when we want to release. So finding your belly button, going over about 2 inches and down. So you're between your belly button and your hip, somewhere in the middle. You're going to press in and then pull up and then step that right foot back. Bend your left knee. I know you can't see me, but that's what I'm doing. And then lean back and let's breathe in. You should feel like a pull, a stretch across that right leg, the top of the right leg, up into your groin area. In. 4, 5, 6. Beauty. Come on up and we'll do the other side. So 2 inches over, 2 inches down. Find the meeting place between the hip and the belly button. Press in. Pull up. Step the right foot forward, left foot back. Bend your right knee. And then lean back. Feel that stretch. And breathe. Inhale. Out. In through the mouth. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. In through your nose. Out. 2. 3. Beautiful. Come standing. And just make some figure eights with your hips. Sway side to side. And let's bring the hands to your abdomen. Let's place them on either side. The colon running around like that. And let's do the same exercise, looking at the sun. And then allowing the energies, the healing energies, the generous healing energies flow through your hands into your colon. Maybe having images of times you weren't able to let go. This could be physical, emotional, mental. Just offering forgiveness. For times that you just did not know what your body really needed. Just allowing this healing light to bring health and healing to the colon. And metaphorically, for our ability to let go of what no longer serves us. And you can keep doing that as long as you like. I just will do some personal shares as I've been sharing. This key that we're in, Gene Key 56, is in my vocation sphere. And it almost feels like it's my vocation birthday. It will be tomorrow, line 6. Today we're in line 5, and that has to do with the energy of being the role model energy. So if this applies to an area of your chart, or you're just contemplating this energy today, maybe thinking of how you might be a role model, or how people might project that you are a role model, and what does that mean for you. But the more nuanced layers, and actually I haven't spoken about this one yet with the gene key of the stop codon. So this gene key is a part of 3 that are a part of the codon ring of the trials, is what it's called, the codon ring of trials. And so all of our, DNA, each codon is associated to an amino acid, but this one and the 2 others are specifically not coded to amino acids, but they're coded to something called a stop codon. And there's some scientific stuff behind that I won't get into the weeds, and I'm not an expert in that. But in terms of the story for our evolution is, when we go through trials in our life, or we go through the awakening journey, or a dark night of the soul, we have to go through these initiations. The first one is the shadow of forgetting. Are we going to forget who we really are? Then the distractions. Are we going to distract ourselves from our path? And one of the ones that really stands out for me, that I remember reading when I first got my hands on this, was that one of the hardest, or the trickiest subtle things, is that we can be distracted by helping others, because we have so much love. We've come to a place in our journey where we feel so much love, and we just want to help everyone. And there's nothing wrong with that, obviously. But I had to look at myself in my life and realize, like, oh, am I spending a little bit too much energy helping this one person in my life, where it's been, 10 years of trying to help them. And the word that I love with this is disinterested love. There can still be love there, but to take my interest away from needing to help that person, and that being a form of the distraction in the shadow, that was for me really noteworthy. And then the last trial of these ring of trials is vanity. So that's an interesting piece to this key that I have reflected upon. And what came to me in my own journey is, as he speaks about these stop codons and how our DNA works, is that it's designed to trigger mutations at certain points, or whether it triggers it or it just happens because that's human nature. And I was just thinking about how fast we're evolving, like how much change has happened in the generations. I was having this conversation with some family, actually, some new family I've reconnected with last weekend, and there were multiple generations, and we were just reflecting on the awareness and the changes that have been occurring. And the stop codon, I was thinking about it as like stopping, making a stop or making a stand to, like, okay, this generational lineage of, let's say, victimhood, or whatever the pattern would be at the shadow level, is all about our victimhood, and forgetting that the outside circumstances are just reflections of our inner world. And we start to blame other people. Speaking to this specific key in the distraction, we're distracted by the fact that the outer world, that we're victims to the outer world. And the sort of stop codon here in my vocation is like, a part of my vocation was always, what if it was always about stopping that program through my lineage. And for me, this sun transit with this key here is really interesting, because 2 years ago I was over there in the marina parking lot where I live in a float home. I live in a float home, and we were coming to view the house 2 years ago to see if this would be something we would consider doing, which seemed so crazy at the time. It still does seem crazy in a way, but I was contemplating this key for my YouTube channel over in the parking lot with the house in the background. And it's just amazing to see what is going on in my life during this time when it's my vocation. And this year I'm having this what is it? This deepening on my authenticity and my integrity and claiming my authentic power. When I first sort of started a letting go period, I had let go of my previous sort of, I said I had retired at 33, but I had let go of my fitness business, and I was going to go on this journey to discover what holds people back and also why people have these setbacks when they're like, I was teaching fitness, so they would have all these great results, we'd work together, and then something would happen in their life and they'd set back, sometimes even worse from where they were before. So I was really curious about that. And of course, it eventually led me to understanding our shadows and the beautiful work of the Gene Keys. And that just took me on a pretty non-linear journey. And one of the things that came up, somebody reminded me of, and I saw pictures of, is I painted myself gold because I was studying color, and the color gold represents our authentic power. And so I was encouraged to, I had this image while I was in the bath with this color, and I saw my body painted in gold, and the friends around me at the time were like, you should do it, you should totally paint yourself gold for real, and then get pictures taken. So I did do that. And for me, I was thinking back about that yesterday, about how it was me taking that stand of like, okay, I want to claim my authentic power. I want to step into my authenticity and my integrity. And that was a strong intention that then started to show me in my outer world all the ways that I wasn't in integrity, and all the things that weren't belonging on my true path were literally removed from my life. And it was quite the whirlwind. I have one of those Gene Keys too. So does my partner. And yeah, more stories for another time, but that's what's personally going on for me. And this journey of coming and showing up every day is like me painting my body again, but I'm painting the body from the inside versus the external, with this maturity of understanding that everything starts within. And that's the stop codon, the stop of no longer I'm going to blame anybody else for the way my life is going. But I'm going to enrich myself when I have a challenging situation, or I'm confronted, or I'm triggered. That's my opportunity to enrich my inner landscape and remove any patterns or stories that I'm still carrying that are not serving my reality. And actually, I want to share this last one part here, if I can find it quick. Yes, you create your own reality. I love this part too in Gene Key 56 on page 452. He speaks of this exactly, is we tend to blame the outside world and the people in it for what happens, instead of realizing that our circumstances reflect our inner state. And the well-known you create your own reality is actually only half true. You do not create the actual events of your life, but you do influence their playing out through your attitude. So really, it's our attitude towards our life that is keeping us in either the gift frequency, where we'll continue to feed the enrichment, or, if our attitude sinks low, we start blaming, projecting, then we can slip into the shadow and Of course, as Richard explains, the gift frequency is a long journey and it has ups and downs, and we don't just stay in that one state. We we go through different states. We sometimes do get pulled back into the shadow, and there's nothing wrong with that. Again, it can all be an enriching experience as long as we can stay in that love. I think that's my share for today. I'm sending you so much love. Please feel free to share anything that comes up for you that you enjoyed. I always love to read those. And today, my contemplative question will be, I think I'm going to keep the one from the other day, which is just being aware of when I might be getting distracted. Either distracted externally by something outside that is not enriching me, because as we said yesterday, distractions are okay as so long as they enrich us. Or in my internal world, if I feel like I'm getting distracted from something going on inside me, that I want to instead move away from that and just focus myself outside. How can I stay with the discomfort and learn something and be enriched by it? Sending so much love to you, and I'll see you in the next video.